Well, you might have noticed there's a change of scenery. I look like a supervillain or something. Maybe I'm like some really dramatic movie. I can only see half my face. If my voice sounds a little different than normal, I've discovered that I might have acid reflux, which is causing damage to my vocal cords, which might have been why I partially was having some difficulty with singing stuff that I used to be able to. But that is not the subject of today's video. Short story short, basically I can't find the charger for my camera right now, so I had to find a way to film with my iPhone. And I don't have a stand for my iPhone, so it'd be pretty difficult to do it in my studio. Figured, you know, this album, it's dark, it's creepy, it's crazy, it's wacky. Why don't I go for a 2:30 a.m. drive and just see what happens? See what dastardly deeds we can commit. With that being said, I got glasses. And with that being said, let's start with Newborn. It sounds pretty much the same so far. I will say it sounds a little crisper, it's a little louder. I expect that with all of these, I think. This part's kind of reminding me of like the remix for Citizen Erased. When we got to those heavy parts at the beginning, basically sounded like exactly the same, but like you could hear the distorted guitars a little clearer, and that was definitely the case here. The one thing I will say is, because I'm not listening on the headphones, which I kind of wish I was, it'll be harder to parse out little tiny details, but I'll get more into the vibe of it all. So maybe the trade-off will be worth it. Who knows? I think the biggest difference is the drums, maybe. The voice is so crisp. Honestly, not too many big differences. The snare sounds way different. This one sounds more like with Citizen Erased and Megalomania. To me, it sounded more like a remix, almost. These sound a little bit, this one sounds a little bit more like a remaster, but like a really good one. Because like the drums, like people keep saying that they didn't like record any new parts. I think somebody said they did record like a tiny bit of new parts, but for the most part they haven't. Like for me, I definitely can tell it with the most with the drums. Is the drums definitely sound like they were re-recorded. I don't know if they actually were, but they sound like it. I almost wish that they re-recorded that solo. Okay, this sounds different. I almost had wished that they re-recorded that solo just so that they could add the live parts, because I think the live parts add so much to this song. This verse sounds so much better. It sounds insanely better. That part in the background, you can't even hear it really before, and if you did, it was muddy. The drums are so crisp. Oh, damn. That sounds beat. Beefy. Let's go. So I just listened to like a small snippet of like the original Newborn again, just to be sure I didn't miss anything. And to me, it really did sound like, for the most part on that one, that we're gonna have two camps of songs in this remaster or remix. And that's gonna be songs that are completely transformed in a lot of ways. Like Megalomania, I think that one is almost a completely different song, versus ones like Newborn, which are probably already produced pretty well comparatively, and there isn't going to be too much of a change other than just refining what's already there. And I don't think there were many like genuine changes on like effects that they chose in that song. I mean, you guys can tell me if you heard something that I didn't, because like when I'm not listening in headphones, it's harder to pick apart tiny little details. But just in terms of like first listen, the main difference I heard was in that second verse, where we had that like background instrument. I think it's like maybe a piano or electric piano or something. That was like where I saw the biggest difference. Otherwise, I mean, it just sounded like way crisper. So I'll take a crisp Newborn any day. You know, that's what I always say. A crisp Newborn keeps the newborns away. Yep. Well, that was that. I'm probably gonna listen to Bliss now. We'll try out Bliss. You know. Okay. We'll see you in the next video.